Okay, so it's the pervert's day off today, so we're gonna see if we can get a little closer to some truth here regarding aversion, regarding what we're all doing here. What's the point of life? I mean, is it really? Is the point of creation really about gathering magic numbers? Is the point of life really about conquering my brothers? Betraying my friends for cash? Are we so addicted to self-interest that we're blinded to its truth? Like, to be a human being and to be so perverted from my nature, the truth of my own nature, that I feel compelled to kill my fellows for sexual gratification. I am so lonely, so desperate inside for cognition of myself, that I will kill life in order to somehow, some way get some inside me. Because I'm hurting for something, I don't know what it is. And I've tried everything else, and maybe killing people is the answer, you know? I understand near-death sexual experiences are quite something else as well, but I mean, you know, I don't have a particular desire to kill myself to find out. You know, this body is not going to last forever anyway, you know, so I like to enjoy it and some of the fruits of it while I've got it, and when I have something else, I'll enjoy it. But for me to enjoy myself, it's going to be pretty difficult to do in any way, shape, or form, sexually, emotionally, intellectually, psychically, intuitionally, forget about it, or spiritually, forget about it as well. But for me to buy a gun and want to kill my brother for fun, or for sexual gratification, or for perceived injustice, he might have dissed me or something. Which brings up a good point. What is a diss? Disrespect. Right? Like, if I've earned respect, if I've earned my own self-respect, I don't need yours. I don't need to kill you. I don't even notice when you don't. Really. If I respect myself, it's certainly not a killing thing for you to disrespect me, because really the truth of the matter is, in reality, your disrespect has no function because it's based in ignorance. Illiterate disrespect doesn't hold much currency even to the card holder itself. So there's some education that's required, a miracle of instruction, if you will, for humanity today. And I got chosen to be the guy who delivers the data. And a few other things as well, which we'll get into some other time. But for right now, just know this, that you're not going to get anything but truth here. You're not going to get a bigger dick. I don't think we've talked to you about this before. You're not going to get better boobs or anything like that. You're not going to get $1 million. You're not going to get rich slower or quicker than you ordinarily would, theoretically. Anyway, we're not making that assertion, period. May happen, may not. The bottom line is, you will get disturbed but you will also get bombed. This is not a single-pronged expedition. The ego difficulties and challenges you're going to confront if you continue to watch these tapes are significant. Basically, yeah, everything you have. Everything that keeps me worshiping my asshole is something I need to let go of. Can we agree here? Do we have a line, integration of purpose on this at least? When we say that I'm a human being, we've already, on our previous tapes, we've already concluded that worship is inbuilt into my DNA. Okay? And the cognition level that I'm exposed to, the intuition levels that I'm privileged to experience are based on my fidelity to my own integrity. Fidelity to the truth. The degree to which I deviate from that is the degree to which I create suffering for myself. These are our findings thus far. So, and these findings are based in pretty substantial soil. Anyway, assuming that our foundations are substantive and accurate, let us proceed, shall we? So, anything that I use to defraud myself from the truth, whether it's old wives' tales, rational thinking, biochemistry, scientific shit, whatever it is more costly to me as a being than it's worth. And so we've also determined in our previous tapes that discernment is a key factor in being a human being. It distinguishes us from bugs. Although many of us choose to function at the level of bug, bed bug, wall climbing, slug, etc., we've gone through this before as well. It's my hope and prayer that some of us choose to get beyond that conundrum. And for those of you who have chosen to get beyond that conundrum, I posit the following. If worshiping my asshole has produced what I've got so far, and assuming that what I've got so far is less than optimum as far as I can see. Now, if that's not also true for you, then you might as well forget the rest of these discourses, because they're not designed for you. You've obviously either have no wit at all, or an individual who is in no need of any further cultivation. I've never seen a specimen myself, but I mean, I must allow for the possibility. So if you exist, I apologize for wasting your time thus far, but for the rest of us, dead peasants, etc., these excursions into truth are a requirement for my life to really begin. Until I choose to worship the truth. In other words, as long as I'm worshiping my own bum, and this is law, it's not my law, it's metaphysical law, I support it, I love it, I worship it. But still, I didn't instigate it, invent it, or start it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. In any event, the truth is, it exists, for sure, no matter who authored it. It's there. And the bottom line is, if I don't notice this stuff, it costs me vitality, it costs me aliveness, it costs me my life, basically. To stay asleep, to stay ignorant, To be insistently ignorant will cost me my life, my current life, and any hope of future life. By virtue of choosing that, I worship worm food, which is not even as high as my own bum. At least my own bum. Well, worm food wiggles a bit, I guess, you know. Anyway, bum or worm food? Bum is better than worm food, though. You don't want to be worshiping worm food. Like, you know, consistent ignorance. I don't care what the proof is. I'm not going to buy it because it embarrasses me. I don't like to be embarrassed. So let me kill this fuck. I mean, these are basically your choices. Your choices are either to shut the fuck up and get out of the kitchen, or continue to engage in these dialogues with something to gain and with something to lose as well. Like, I'm not sitting around here to waste my breath or, you know, use up your time or use up my time. I can be doing other things besides sitting here and talking into a computer. And even if I couldn't, if the truth rings for you, grab it from any tree. God is not prejudiced. That is rare. From the point of view of heaven, okay, so all these people are arguing about who's righter than who, like Christians or Muslims, Christians or Buddhists or Jains or Jews, Jews or Gentiles or whoever, Eskimos and Zulu warriors, from Australian indigenous people, Aboriginal Australians with a 50,000-year history and they can recollect in Heaven's Kiss. I'd say closer to 100,000. Anyway, the truth is, and perhaps with the exception of them, but all the rest of us, from the point of view of heaven, are a bunch of unenlightened, homicidal, sexually perverse, beings in a condition of dwarfing dementia. And so you can pick and choose among yourselves whatever the fuck you like. The bottom line is, a perverted fool is a perverted fool, whether he's a Jew, a Gentile, a Mormon, or a fucking nitwit. And he's going to get no more altitude than a perverted Muslim is going to get no more altitude than a perverted Jew, than a perverted fucking pig is going to get. And these perversions, we don't know we got them, and if we got them, we don't have a fucking clue how to let go of them, even if we had the slightest desire to do so, which most of us don't. We rather enjoy our perversions. We rather enjoy worshiping the idea of killing people. It kind of turns us on. We get a sexual fucking juice out of it. I didn't know this until a few days ago, really. I mean, I'd heard about it, but I mean, I thought Sigmund was out of his mind, you know? Like, how can somebody take that into life? Well, millions and millions and fucking millions of us are. And I say us. I say us because no matter who you are, no matter what throne you sit upon, no matter what hut you live in, no matter what sea you overlook, no matter what land you inhabit, no matter what bugs you tread underfoot, and no matter your wealth, your poverty, your sickness, your health, you're married, you're single, you're sexual attraction, your religious twist, your philosophical perversions, your economic postulations, whatever your story is, we are your king. And you know, there's not much I can do about it. And there's not much you can do about it either. It's just how it is. It's like the color of blood. You know, it's red. No, you don't get to fuck around with it, choose it or anything. It just is how it is. And, you know, I didn't really want to show up this time, to tell you the truth. I kind of wanted to take a pass. And I got vetoed. Anyway, the thing is, you know, I thought they could have chose better too. You know what I mean? To somebody with more smarts or somebody with, you know, something. But I'm your king. Doesn't matter whether you're a bug, a snake, an animal in a jungle, or in a zoo. You're mine. You belong to me. And I am you. It doesn't matter if you're king, queen, president, hobo, cab driver, or prince. You belong to me. You heard about this event for some time, and you didn't think it was going to happen. And if I had my way, it wouldn't have happened either. This time, not now. But I'm glad it is, and I'm glad it does, and I would have been wrong not to communicate the truth, particularly at this time. I didn't see how desperate the situation was until I visited your jails. Until I visited your poor. Until I visited yourselves from behind your masks and saw the depravity, the hopelessness you live in was unknown to me. Do you understand it? Anyway, it's known to me now. And you see, I couldn't ignore this. And the truth is, you don't have much elbow room left. You're gonna fuck the whole thing up. Literally kill the planet that nurtures you and yourselves to death. No more. End of story. You continue going the way you're going, you've got zero hope held out by me or heaven. Every once in a while, you get a wake-up call. You had one a couple thousand years ago. You got better. Give us Barabbas. Here's the choir's refrain. Sing it. And was heard got lost because the truth got expedient. The truth was not worshipped. The truth became unblessed. Convenience became more important than the truth. And so the Christian offering floundered. And Muhammad was required, and Muhammad came. Another warner saying, you know what? Look out. You're not careful. Hundreds of millions of you gonna get slaughtered and fucked up. And in the midst of that, he built something that lasted 1,500 years. It had been in existence far longer than 1,500 years, far longer than Muhammad. But Muhammad recognized the constancy of the thread. Muhammad recognized that God created man for a purpose. And man was missing the point. And Muhammad was right. That's not to make every Muslim right, because that's not the inference that gets drawn here. Muhammad acknowledged the gift that Jesus and John brought, and he could see what had happened. He was right on beat. Immediately after it fucking collapsed, Muhammad shows up. Whenever truth is required, heaven sends it. And Muhammad recognized that right then and now it was him. He had this duty, he had this due, and it was necessary. And he was not a particularly lettered man, and he wrote a book that survives to this day. Or he spoke, let me put it more accurately, he spoke that which has been put into a book. A comprehensive book called the Quran. Now, I'm not saying Islam is better than Christianity, is better than Buddhism, is better than Judaism, is better than anything. What I'm saying is, if you're a Jew and you are not worshipping the truth, you're pagan. If you're an Arab or a Muslim and you're not worshipping the truth, you're a pagan. And of just a little more regard to heaven than the aforesaid swine. Not a hell of a lot more. Do you understand? If you got no desire and no fire in your belly to reach for what's solid, for what's true, where the grip is in life, where nourishment is for you, then who the fuck needs you? Think about it. If you don't want to reach for yourself, why should heaven help you? You need to cultivate some discernment, kiddies. Quick. Big time. And discernment is the fruit of truth's abject worship. It doesn't come anywhere else. You cannot get discernment, nourishing discernment, substantive discernment from pretense or fiat anything. I'm not here to impose myself on anyone. I have no protection, no armies, no money, no influence. Matter of fact, I got the reverse of influence right now. But let me tell you this. There is someone among you more than one. There are many among you who worship the true now. And you need to start listening to them if you're not. Cultivate discernment between your ears and in your heart. It's necessary. This is the last day. It's going to last for 21 years. And you may be noticing things are changing and getting more difficult. Well, it's just beginning. It's just really. This is the calm before the start. It's happening now. Understand? Albert Einstein said this, and I think it's the smartest thing anybody's ever said. Man's problems cannot be solved at the same level of consciousness within which they were created. Now, there's never been anything truer said, nor anything more fruitful to dwell upon. I promise you this. You continue to come here, spend the time required to listen to this lunatic, this individual, this king, this priest, this what? Not sure. But you come, you keep coming and continuing to listen. You'll get benefit. It may not be comfortable. You may not like it. You may not like what I have to say. You may not like how I say it. You might not like me. You may want to kill me. And I tell you what, you read my books, and after you read Facts of Love, book 1, 2, and 3, you will know where to find me. And if you want to kill me then, you come right along and go ahead. Understand? But in the meantime, you might want to entertain some of the stuff, some of the curriculum that's going on here. Because one thing I really do not know how to do is whistle Dixie. Anyway, before I go, I want to tell you this one last thing as well. The reason I have this job is because the love in my heart is unbounded. Not because I'm so smart. And because most of the stuff that I did wrong, I apologized for. And asked forgiveness for. And have purified my heart and cleaned it up. And Jesus was not kidding. Nor am I when I tell you this. Purify your heart. You shall see